Intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. Pedro Pascal calls out J.K. Rowling as heinous loser. And we also have, after the UK, the Supreme Court in the UK had come down and made a court decision ruling on gender issues and overseas. J.K. Rowling commented on Papa Sidhu and other people writing a letter to the court, basically decrying the decision. So we got a lot to talk about with those two stories as well. But what is your intro? I see you like eye rolling and physically flinching at this story. Hit me. What do you want to go over?
First of all, can you call the richest woman in the world a loser?
Is she the richest woman in the world?
I think she is.
You know what? I have no reason to doubt that. I mean, but holy shit.
It's not Oprah.
No, it's not Oprah.
Who the fuck cares about Oprah?
Who cares about Oprah? She hasn't been relevant to me since the Raven Simone interview where I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, where she's
like, I'm an American, not an African American. I was like, yeah, sister. Fuck yeah, you are.
Preach it.
You are my sister in America.
But yeah. This whole, so basically, J.K. Rowling is the most leftist person you'll ever see. She agrees with everything. The only thing she doesn't agree with is just having dudes in women's sports.
Yeah.
And the left fucking annihilates her on this.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb, it's a dumb hill to die on. Really.
It's insanely stupid. I mean, and all these people are aligned with her. What's the point of an internal fight? Especially when you have all these projects coming to bear. Like if you have HBO has to be betting it all on this Harry Potter series. I've heard almost nothing from Warner Brothers coming down the pipeline.
We've heard nothing from her. We've heard nothing from J.K. Rowling about casting or anything.
Well, she did. So she did comment on the letter, and so we will get in. We'll find her comments in the article.
But she has nothing to do with casting, apparently. Which she basically had a huge role in casting the original movies and whatnot.
Yep. Well, she still had everything that was reported in the early stages of the casting process, which we're still in. Everything that was reported was talking about how J.K. Rowling was going to have total command of this project. She was going to have creative say over who was cast, and she's still
adaptation. Blah, blah, blah. And what frustrates me the most, I'm not really talking about the articles or anything right now. It's just that it's such a slam dunk for Warner Brothers and HBO to do a series on Harry Potter, and they fuck it up before it even comes out. Before they even start production. We're still just in casting. We're still just finding the people. This is not like... We don't have a screenplay yet. Yeah. Exactly. So... It's so frustrating that, people in Hollywood, they have control of the IPs that you love, and they just dog shit on them. Don't care. Sweep it under the fucking fridge. It's like when an ice cube or whatever comes out. Yeah. It lands on the floor and you just kick it out in the fridge. Everyone can relate to that. It's so frustrating, dude. I hear it's an easy slam dunk, and then just, nope, we're not going to do it. Well, HBO has a reputation for this. Game of Thrones. Switch the screenwriters up, get rid of D&D, keep the gravy train rolling, because that show was like the #1 TV show at the time. Warner Brothers, that owns HBO, wanted to have more seasons of Game of Thrones. Yeah. All right. Good decision. They wanted to keep on going. Awesome. The Dumb and Dumb writers didn't want to do it. All right. So, and then the next Game of Thrones thing comes out. And it's absolute trash. No, it was great. Oh, House of Dragons, you mean? Yeah, House of Dragons comes out. It was great. Season 2 comes on, and then HBO is like, we're going to keep the last 2 episodes for the next season because they think it'll make seasons come out faster. It's like, all right. It's not. When was last season? Last fall, wasn't it? Yeah. And why don't we have a year out? It's gonna have a season a year. I mean, a season a year would be kind of what we grew up with. But honestly, I think that most shows I've made this argument so many times. Most shows should have been easier to produce in the 2020s, not harder. Like every modern advantage we have has slowed us down.
Every one of them.
Idiocracy here, dude. It just keeps getting dumber and harder to do things because the people in power, they're just like, I think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, yeah, no, it's not.
So Harry Potter specifically, were you originally, did you have, were you looking forward to it before we got some of the
Because I read the books, yes.
Yeah. I wanted it too. I had a lot of people who are huge fans of the books. This is in my inner circle. I'm not talking about like the community at large, but my inner circle was very excited about this. Very much wanted a full series. They wanted to know what they missed from the original movie sagas. They wanted to know how good it was going to be compared to the books. They wanted to do that comparison for themselves. Now we're not going to get a faithful adaptation. J.K. Rowling's been overpowered. She has no creative control, apparently. She doesn't get to decide who the cast are going to be. Whether even let's say Papa Sidhu being Black Snape let's put that aside for a moment. John Lithgow, I like him. I like him as Dumbledore. She wanted a British cast.
It opened the door for everyone basically to be casted. So, because originally it was just British born and raised. That's the only people you can cast.
Her most famous rule, if you're a normie and you know anything, you know this rule at least, that the Harry Potter is a British product. That it's a British IP. It's going to be a British film, and it's going to be a British show. And now that rule is broken out the window, even forgiving the race swapping thing, which is probably the bigger issue for me and for a lot of people. I don't care about the American British thing. I could understand what she did.
Because it's race swapped.
I mean,
let's get that out there. It's not because it's like, oh, this person's black and was originally white. It's deeper than that. It's not just the surface level. It's like, oh, he used to be white, now he's black. There's so much more connotation and whatnot that goes along with that. So, yeah, I just don't want... I always hate that. It's like, oh, you don't like it now because so-and-so is black. It's like, no, it's deeper than that. You only look at the surface level of it.
Well, and the motivation...
Making Snape black changes the entire goddamn story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same with making Hermione black. Changes the whole story. Now it's just a race allegory for fucking America in the 60s, basically.
Yeah. Which, yeah, we never get any of that. There's no oversaturation of that in the market right now. Holy shit. So honestly, with J.K. Rowling and everything going on with her, then you have, and the other one came from Pedro Pascal, which you don't have a dog in this fight, dude. Just stand down. You're literally Hollywood is bending the knee to you. You're the only one they want to cast in anything. Why on earth would you pick a fight here?
He has the best agent in the world.
No shit. I wish someone would tell him about us. It's like we had his agent. But I mean,
this is where it comes to like the bigotry of low expectations or whatever. It's the only reason. No, I wouldn't say the only reason, but the reason why Pedro keeps on getting cast in so many roles and whatnot is because he is quote unquote from Hollywood white passing.
Yep.
So like, oh well, we're gonna ingratiate ourselves to the whites and the Hispanics, whatever. Because
Jesus, I mean,
it's like no, just cast a guy that's perfect for the role. I don't give a fuck about his ethnicity. Unless it changes the goddamn story.
And I understand that there's a tendency. I mean, it's not a law. It's not like every one of the actors in Hollywood. But I understand there's a tendency for actors in Hollywood to be pretty narcissistic and pretty self-serving in a lot of things. And very, very much not... most of them, I would say, are not in it for the artistic expression anymore. They're just doing what they're told, getting the paycheck, grinding through it. And Quentin Tarantino actually talked about this. And I disagree with Quentin Tarantino on one of his comments about writing. I'll break down my disagreement with him in a second, but when it comes to Pedro Pascal and when it comes to Hollywood in general, if you're just going to be their token guy, I would be pissed if anybody
I'd feel the same way in any industry. It's like, oh, so I'm hired because I look a certain way?
Yeah. I mean,
or I'm passing a certain way.
I would be pissed. I would be seriously bothered by that. And I understand, like, microaggressions was like the word of the day, or like the phrase of the day, like 4 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden you microaggress against Pedro Pascal by making this all about race and putting him in films. It's like, aren't you still pissed off? Like, you guys change so quickly about what is and is not tolerable to you.
Like, say it's like an all black like lawyer firm, and they hire you based on
because I'm black passing, yeah. Because I'm black because of my skin color, yeah.
And like the owner, or not the owner, the CEO of the firm or whatever, puts his arm around. He's like, "Hey, we got a white." And it's like, wouldn't that fucking annoy the shit out of you? It's like, I'm hired here because
you were token.
Yeah.
It's tokenism was like a huge affront, like in the early 2000s and the 90s, like just being put somewhere because of your race was unreasonable by any metric.
It's actually illegal.
Yeah. And now, but I mean,
apparently that law went out the fucking window, by the way.
Well, I think Hollywood always had a carve out, or maybe that was a product of just when when I've been around. But I know Hollywood's had a carve out for racial like carve outs because characters were set to look a certain way, so they had to cast for the look. So I think they had protections for that specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to be like, no, we didn't hire based on race. We hired based on merit.
No hard segue on that.
It's very easy to.
No hard segue on this, but I want to talk about what I was going to say about Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino had a comment where he was talking about how he hires the actors to read the script that he puts in front of them, and he does not want them at all to improvise or do anything like that. In my mind, I'm like, do you have other creatives in there with you?
I'll fight you on that.
Well, okay, so I'm going to put on two examples in front of you, and I think you'll agree with both of these examples, and I want you to kind of battle these examples out too. Both Henry Cavill and who played Wednesday? Ortega? Jenna
Ortega.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. Both of them famously stood out in their roles for pushing back against writers and being good faith to their characters. Even Quentin Tarantino himself has had examples where writers where an actor has come to him with a specific like critique or note and changed his mind himself. So to his own benefit has
Can I fight you on that one?
I want you to, but I think I want you to contend with all three of those examples and make the counter argument to why those were good.
Jenna Ortega was playing Wednesday, an already established IP.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill was playing Geralt, an already established IP in the Witcher universe. When it comes to Quentin Tarantino's work, it's just his shit.
It's his brainchild.
Yeah.
I see what your point is.
Where it's like Jenna Ortega can say it's like Wednesday wouldn't do this or Wednesday would do that. Same with Henry Cavill. When it comes to Quentin's work, it's just like you don't know the character like he does. He wrote the character. He has a whole backstory for every fucking character they even thinks up. It's like the actor playing it doesn't know it.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. I think Quentin was talking about Kill Bill, and I could be way off base. He only in the interview I was watching, he only brought up one example. I think I'm remembering it being Kill Bill, where someone brought something to him that he did end up changing the script for, or did end up making an adjustment for. And with a little bit of research, we could probably find out what script did Quentin Tarantino.
He also did when it came to Inglourious Basterds when Brad Pitt.
Yep.
He plays super like a Texan dude.
Yeah, he's ridiculous on it.
And he tries to do the Italian thing.
Right.
Or he's like buongiorno. That wasn't actually in the script or whatever. He was supposed to play it a bit differently, but it was like screened or something, and Quentin's like, well, fuck, now I have to do it that way.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my point, isn't it? Like that's my point, is that there are examples
he wants his characters to do what he had envisioned from the get-go. There is room for lip, like just doing whatever the fuck you want, just off the fly or whatever. But he has a very strict idea of how this is gonna go.
I understand that, and I empathize with that, because if I were to
don't say that.
What? Empathize?
I empathize.
I empathize with.
What are you, queer?
Shut up! You suck. No, the argument being that I think there should be a door that's open for actors that I don't think should just be, you are the monkey, you just dance. I'm like, they are the portrayer of your character. they have a mind that is trying to embody it. And even if they're wrong on why or what the character would say, it's better for them to bring it up so the argument can be had and they can understand the role of the character better. Or you understand as the writer, as the creator, as the original creative, that they are not the best fit for the job. That debate between actor and writer needs to happen and should not be, I think, as strongly discouraged as he makes it.
Well, I think a good example, you can look this up on YouTube when it comes to Park and Recreation, to where the writer was so fucking pissed about a particular scene. I mean, it was like jokingly pissed because Chris Pratt did an ad lib that was way better than what they were doing. So it's like they wrote something and Chris Pratt just improvises like, hey, I think you have connectivity network issues or whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so the writer gets like, oh, fuck, man, that's so much better. So it's almost like an ego thing too.
Yeah. Well, if you're Quentin Tarantino, you've earned it. I'm not trying to shit on him. He's one of the best. He's one of the greats. But I do think to hold that position so animate with such like intensity, and to shut down the idea that these actors have something to contribute to story, I think if you,
they do. I mean,
I don't want other actors to take that lesson away that they don't have anything to contribute to the roles, especially in the cases of established IP. If actors are coming in with established IP, it's in my mind, it's their responsibility to contest writers who are fucking it up.
I do. Yeah. It's like my character would never do this or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
So his principle can't be applied universally. I understand what you were saying. It's his IP. It's his brainchild. I get it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's not established. But when it comes to like I mean, quotes what I think Anthony Hopkins or whatever does this. It's like actors are just dumb people. You come in, you read the script 250 times, you envelop that character. There you go. That's all you do. You're hired to say the words that are on the page.
Right.
And a very, in a way.
Okay, I want one counter to him because I, again, like Hopkins, don't have a beef with him. I don't have an issue with his work.
It'd be funny if you did have a beef.
I don't. I don't.
You have a beef with an 85-year-old.
but
hey, damn, you didn't fucking shake my hand that one time.
But then I say Heath Ledger and I say Joker. All of a sudden, that entire argument dies. His entire argument dies as soon as you put the best acting scene in front of you.
Yeah, I guess it was like his artistic, as an actor, it was his artistic interpretation of said character that just
made the film. It
made him royalty, basically.
Yeah. We want good acting. We don't want, if these rules.
Well, I can also put that back to Quentin Tarantino in Inglourious Bastards. What's the best character in Inglourious Bastards?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think you would say, is it Hans?
Yeah.
Hans. I could just say Hans and it wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't even have to know who I'm talking about. It's a
played
movie
by Christoph Waltz.
He's fantastic.
Greatest villain of all time.
Yeah,
I would say. I would put him even above Heath Ledger's Joker. He's such a great actor, but that was not like improv or him bringing a certain thing to a character.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin almost didn't do the movie because he couldn't find
this role,
the Hans,
this person.
And so, yeah, and then Christoph Waltz comes in and is like, oh, I can speak like 4 different languages, and it just works.
And I think we need more talented actors in Hollywood, but I think my grander point here, also, before I forget, Quentin Tarantino, the project I was talking about that he mentioned in the interview was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt again. So maybe he just likes Brad Pitt enough to give him some wiggle room, but I don't know. Just because the others...
all my favorite directors generally reuse actors.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, even Quentin Tarantino uses Samuel Jackson and everything.
Yeah. Quentin does it. Christopher Nolan does it.
Ryan Reynolds does it. He puts himself in everything.
What's the old use? Scorsese does it.
Oh, here's a funny one. Clint Eastwood. Because he's always directing and starring in.
I haven't watched his last 2 movies, so
I think Gran Torino was probably the last one of his.
That was like a
I really enjoyed. I thought Mule was.
You watched Jury Number 2 or whatever the fuck it was.
I did not, but I thought Mule was fine. I don't think it was a movie I'd ever watch again, but I thought it was fine. I don't regret seeing it, but it's not like a standout film that's really great.
Movies you regret seeing.
Oh, War of the Rohirrim jumps in my brain. It's the poster.
I don't.
It's the front of you. What?
Yeah. No, I don't, because it was so bad. It was fun.
No, it wasn't.
We were clowning on it the entire time we were watching.
Fair enough.
Marvels, I would say I regret seeing.
Okay.
But not War of the Rohirrim. That was so bad. It was fun.
It wasn't fun for me. That hurt. The whole film was painful.
It was a long 2 hours.
Yeah, it was. So we should just finish up on J.K. Rowling. So continuing into the article, we've got the insult heard across Instagram. So Pedro Pascal, we'll go through here. So in late April, Pedro Pascal, star of The Mandalorian, we know who Pedro Pascal is, lobbed an insult at Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling on Instagram, calling her a heinous loser. The post came in response to Rowling's public celebration of the UK Supreme Court's ruling affirming that the legal definitions of woman and sex refer to biological sex under the Equality Act. So, good summary there. And
what is a woman?
What is it?
You know why Pedro did it?
Hit me.
He has a brother sister.
Oh, they them.
Yeah, he has a trans sibling.
Well, I mean, I would understand that. I've met other people who are like super defensive if you have the conversation about this stuff. They get like really pissed off just because the conversation starts because they have friends, family, or they.
Yeah, it's almost like say 9/11 was an inside job.
Say it.
It's like no, saying that, and it's like, well, I have this was back in the day. Like someone would be like, well, I have someone a sibling in the military or whatever, and I can't
tolerate you questioning it.
I can't even like almost entertain the idea because it fucks with their
worldview. Yeah, I've had this exact same conversation about I don't talk about it on the podcast I think at all, but I've had conversations about like policing with people, and that most people are pretty receptive.
I have a brother that is a cop.
Yeah, I know. We're not gonna have it here because I won't survive the conversation about like.
He's a detective because he couldn't stand everyone shooting each other all the time.
Yeah. But I've had conversations with people who have been completely door shut and like complete animus towards the concepts that I proposed. Most people are pretty receptive to just having the conversation. They may feel a certain way, even if they disagree with me. And I think my views on it are pretty extreme, to be fair. I think
I would.
I hold a pretty principled view about it, not necessarily a moralistic view on it, but staying on the story, not letting myself segue too hard into that. We had Rowling change her banner. Rowling never addressed Pedro Pascal by name, but not long after the insults, she updated her banner image to show a row of dolls, no caption, no explanation. The dolls all feature different wildly colored bright hair, which put together could form a rainbow. It might have been overlooked, except for one detail. Pedro Pascal had previously worn a shirt reading "Protect the Dolls," a phrase embraced by gender activists. Many interpreted Rowling's banner change as a subtle jab, her way of turning the insult on its head without saying a word.
I like these billionaires just jabbing back.
Elon Musk doesn't give a fuck. He is so fun to watch when he gets into it on X. He's enjoyable to see.
What I like when it comes to JK, it's just this one subject. Where it's like, I don't know how it became like this huge, like, we're gonna die on this hill kind of thing when it comes to trannies and shit. Where it's like, you can't say, like, if you ask a leftist, what is a woman? Like, they can't
do it.
That's like the go-to.
Right. It's the default answer that doesn't change their mind. It doesn't make them think, but it shows who they are. It shows what they think, or it shows that they don't. So yes, that is the most powerful question I think being used in the argument, but it's not changing minds, and it's not meant to. It's only meant to show this isn't a thought out like ideology. It's meant to show the weakness of your argument that you can't even contend with these points.
Yeah, I can, like, totally against the stuff. Agree with JK when it comes to the trans and whatnot, but I can still have like a trans friend or someone I know and just not get up in their face or whatever about tranny. I actually have one.
Well, people were like,
but it's just, yeah, it's
the trans argument only came to life when laws started to become a topic of conversation around it. Then
I think I saw a Charlie Kirk thing where it was like, why do the right like to stick their noses in everyone's business? It's like, well, we don't until mandate. You're sticking your nose in our business.
Exactly. Well, and so
it's ma'am.
Bill C-16 in Canada, old news, but that was passed. Now it's a crime to misgender people. You got that, like, they tried so hard to get that into the States. They tried to legally mandate that certain things be taught in schools related to like this gender ideology. To the counter, on just to kind of counter the same point, it's when we ask them what is a woman, and when they used to ask people what does woke mean, most people were using the slogan. They knew in their heart what they meant, but most people couldn't articulate their whole like position at any given moment when called upon. And I think that's pretty fair.
They were told something and they didn't think about it any further.
They have a belief in their heart. It might not be rational, it might not be logical or even thought through, but they know what they understand their own feelings. They just can't articulate it out in a meaningful way. So some questions do that. They force you to contend.
Feelings aren't reasonable.
Right. Well, when the conservatives kept getting asked, well, what does woke even mean? Do you even know what you're arguing against? And some people couldn't answer it. I think most conservatives could not answer that question. Woke was not like a Webster Merriam defined word that people learned in high school growing up, and then you have 50-year-olds who are seeing it being used everywhere, and they're like, well, that actually is what I'm talking about. That's the word they keep saying when they're describing what I'm talking about. They kept using it, but they didn't know what it meant.
I'd almost say like woke is just
like Riz. The word Riz. Nobody knows what it means.
Charisma.
It's a fake word. It's a made up word. Or mewing. It's like, just making fun of that generation now, but
it's not like woke isn't even like a.
I have a definition, so I can.
I mean, I would put it in the like you base your entire life off of feeling, basically. Like this thing feels a certain way, therefore, like
I would say, here's what I would.
It's like someone going against is like what your worldview is, and someone says something otherwise, and you have an emotional response instead of a reasonable or logical response.
Yep,
it's like you're kind of a woke person. I got in this fight in 2015, 2016 when Trump first came to power.
Yeah.
First came to power. Sounds
well,
like he's
been power. He's been in power forever. He's always been powerful.
But I had this argument with someone.
His golden castles all over the planet.
Yeah, about something that happened like 10,000 miles away, and someone was like arguing on a emotional level. It's like, and
they're just having a feel out. They're just crashing out. Yeah.
And so.
Well, like crash out is a brand new, like I just used it. Crash out is a brand new phrase. It's not in the dictionary, but we understand crash out to mean you're on a fucking tantrum or you've lost emotional control of yourself. Like we don't have a newly published Webster Merriam dictionary encyclopedia to like refer back to, but we understand and we use these terms as
I'm old enough to where fuck your vernacular, dude. We're going off of millennial vernacular. We're not going off of Gen Z.
Can I give you my definition of woke? Because I think woke is it's either a descriptor or it's a woke describing a thing that represents this, or the main definition I use is it's the practice of identitarianism in either culture, politics, or everyday life.
That's a better one. I was just kind of basically describing like arguments you get in with people that just don't think reasonably.
If you argue for it, you're arguing for wokeness. If you are a person who does it, you are woke. You are described as woke. DEI is woke, and they're
affirmative action.
They're synonyms of each other too, because DEI is also the practice of identitarianism.
Yeah.
You can't go to people, call them identitarianisms, and have them have a feeling about it. But these other buzzwords that get used, like woke, like DEI,
woke is just identitarianism. It's just another word for it.
Yeah. And then it's just not structured out well enough for you to be like wokeness is these are descriptors of the thing you're doing, but woke is the the practice of identitarianism, and
you could almost go tribalism.
You could add more qualifiers to it. I use it more openly, and I don't put
so many isms in this.
Well, and I don't put any qualifiers on it because when a person who says they're woke, it means they've woken up to the idea that there's racial disparity and there's all these things. I was like, yes, identitarianism. These identities are going to shape your worldview. That's how you live. You have woken up to that. You are woke. That's how I define it. So I don't know that mine is like the academic term, but I think it is the most apt. And so that's how when people ask me, that's how I define it.
It's a cultural term. It's not a...
Well, and I ask them for a counter, and they'll say, well, it just means I woke up to the disparities between races. It's like the identity of race.
I woke up to the gender pay gap.
Yeah, you don't see people equally. You're a racist. You don't try to see people equally. You make policy to make sure they're treated differently. You are a racist. You're an identitarian. I'm talking to you, Cody. Looking at you.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No,
you're not woke. You're not
totally racist.
So yeah.
Ginger power.
I can't. So we had a few. There's a little bit more that's gone on, and they use some references back to older examples. But short and short of it is that J.K. Rowling is in the middle of it all, and with Harry Potter coming down the pipeline, the Papa Acetu, the UK Supreme Court, I think that's going to help the UK. Like, it's going to give them a little bit of, when someone's drowning, you give them a breath of air, and then you put them right back down.
You know what got me all hot and bothered about this is I've read the books.
Yeah.
And therefore is like, I know how the story should go and whatnot, and they're fucking it up. When it comes to one of my favorite shows, The Expanse was my favorite show. Season 1 through 3.
It's fantastic.
Great. 4, when Amazon acquired it, it deviates from the books heavy.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, not liking it so much now.
So imagine if someone made an animated Expanse film that was only designed to maintain
no, it'd be like
intellectual property rights.
Like, all right, we're doing the Expanse universe and we're gonna adapt the books very faithfully. It's like, all right, you already did that with 1 through 3. It's pretty good.
I'm trying to draw a comparison between the Expanse and War of the Rohirrim. I was like, if they did that with the Expanse, how would you would have no fun with it. You'd understand all the shit that they're fucking up. You'd understand it's intentional, and that's just a big money grab. Yeah, that's where I was at with War of the Rohirrim.
And Halo.
And oh, dude, no, that's ruined my day.
Dude, it sucks to be a person that actually is cultured and like read certain things, and it's like, all right, we're putting a show on screen for you. And it's like, this isn't the same fucking thing. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I can understand. I finally, it took me God knows how many years to be like, someone like leans over to you in theater and is like, it's not as good as the book. I'm like, shut up, queer. But now I'm just like,
you get it, right?
It started with Inferno for me, with Dan Brown's, you got the Da Vinci Code, yep. Angels and Demons. It started with Inferno for me. And I was like, no, I got 10 minutes into the movie. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Lord of the Rings is the only time I've ever seen the direct impact of that comparison in my understanding of the IP. So like Halo has a bunch of source material that I have not gone through, and it's the vast amount of the books have huge lore that and some of them deviate, some of them don't. I mean, so it's ever expansive. Star Wars is another one I wouldn't touch because it's too big to really jump into.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't read all of the
sponsored by Audible.
Sorry. I wish. Right. Well, so both articles came to us from That Park Place. Marvin Montanaro, writing great work. J.K. Rowling appears to fire back at Pedro Pascal after heinous loser insult with cheeky photo swap on X. I love the subtle jab. Thank you so much for the article. Really great work.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits. Don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.